Hello, everyone. Welcome to Social Emotional Learning in Middle School. I am Melissa Boltz, and I teach students art at Lopez Middle School. In this video, I will be covering what social emotional learning is, sharing different tools that we as educators use every day in our classrooms, and share new ideas with you that you can take away and use in your classrooms, whether you are teaching online or in person. You are amazing. You are important. You are special. You are unique. You are kind. You are precious. You are loved. What is social emotional learning? In a few words, it is all about understanding how people grow and learn socially and emotionally by looking at the daily interactions and experiences that influence their emotions, behavior, and thereby affect their choices. The big idea for educators is, what does social emotional learning look like in the day-to-day life of a school? In middle school, we don't stop and say, okay, let's do SEL. Elementary, okay, we can use books like Molly Lou Mellon and many others and do specific lessons on SEL. But middle school, not so much. What we do as educators in secondary is we weave SEL into the day-to-day rigor of the classroom. We put into practice what they learn in elementary and reinforce in secondary. We are not going to sit down specifically and say, this is how you manage your emotions. It happens whether the kids know it or not. Let's begin the journey of ways SEL can and does take place in classrooms. We will take a look at concrete ways to support students' self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. We start with building relationships. Relationship building is key. Students want to know who you are. They want to know, can you draw? Can you dance? Let them in. Tell them about yourself. Share with them a little bit about yourself in a slide presentation on your webpage, or have items in your room telling a bit about yourself, your travels, modeling that we are more alike than different. Here are a few getting to know you activities to do at the beginning of the year with the students that can build community. Find oneself and find out once again how we are more alike than different. Set up a Google form. Google Forms are easy for students to access in your Google class. Be specific in the questions you ask. Questions like, what is a positive quality that you have? What is an area you need to work on? This allows you to get to know the students, brings forth the students' needs, and shows you care. Also in middle school, have a parent component in the Google Forms so the parents see you working as a team with them. Play games with your students. There are tons of art history games, drawing games, and much more you can do. During your Zoom meeting, play Pictionary. We did this last spring during our Zoom meetings, and it worked out well. Each Google slide. They can personalize the slide as a celebration of themselves and share it with their peers. They can even add audio using Flipgrid or Vector. For the online students, have them make their lockers and put personalized items in it. Let's move on to self-management. Remember the Google form? One of the questions could be, where do you need to sit in the classroom and why? Seating arrangements are great and allow predictability, but we can also be mindful of the students' needs and not allow them to always sit alphabetical. Yes, it is easy and always been done that way, but take a student with social anxiety and sitting at the back of the room allows her to see all of the students around her. Be mindful of taking care of the students. Let her sit in the front, avoiding the potential of the anxiety. Get in the habit of having students write down the due dates. At Lopez, students are encouraged to purchase an agenda book. Encourage them to use some form of calendar daily. It can be one you share, one they purchase, one they have on their phone. Specifically say, get out your agenda, get out your phone. Write this due date. Once again, modeling. Managing oneself is understanding circle of control. What can I actually control? I am in control of turning in my work. The due date is. I know this because I wrote it down. I can play Xbox for 30 minutes each night and still get the work done by Friday. You teach these things up front by saying the monologue out loud. What I cannot control is when my teacher grades my work. Having those conversations up front will help students understand circle of control. Goal setting is another great self-management activity and possibly weekly activity. Checklists or pacing guides, art rubrics help with self-management. Start each year off by having one of the first projects be writing an art goal. Choose a theme, which in this picture is Jasper Johns, and display the artwork with the goals. This creates pride and gives the students a sense of accountability when the goal is hanging up. During distant learning, have the students turn in their goal. You can share one goal on Google Slides, Instagram, etc., or any other social platform. Rubrics will help manage outcomes. They can check what needs to be done to make the grade. Goes back to circle of control. Provide students with a calendar. Self-awareness. Examples of self-awareness are sketchbooks, class check-ins, celebrations, visualization, mindful breathing. Self-awareness. We don't say, today we are going to talk about self-awareness. Use the sketchbook for students to communicate self-awareness. Give the students prompts that are social emotional. An example would be, when I am most happy is, be mindful of the topics instead of just random ideas. Reach out to students and make comments about their sketchbook. This is a good check-in tool. And celebrations. NEISD has purchased the add-on for Pear Deck. Very simple to use, You've probably used it during a workshop for the district. You can add this as a check-in on your students. Add a check-in slide to your lesson. You are trying to get a pulse on your classroom and individual students. Sometimes we think social emotional is only about anxiety and depression, but it's also about feelings. Be mindful of good feelings that students bring to celebrate with you. Have check-ins that aren't just about what is your stress level. Bringing the great things to the forefront will help the students build their emotional bank of gratefulness. And when they do have tough times, they will have an easier time managing them because their emotional bank account is strong and full. Communicate expressing thoughts in their sketchbook or class temperature checks will benefit students. Celebrations help fill the emotional bank accounts. A Google slide in Google Class can start the week off with a celebration of students' artwork. You can showcase students' artwork on your slide. You can showcase work in the front office. Showcase students' work in emails to parents, in your PTA Facebook groups, on your social media accounts. Show the students they are valued as an artist, which in turn builds self-awareness. Social awareness. Examples are critiques, Zoom meetings, making things for others, social interactions. For social awareness, set up expectations in the classroom. Have norms developed by students, norms that the students write. What do they need to have to be successful in the classroom? Online Zoom etiquette rules, critique guidelines. Examples would be glows and grows. Nurture a culture of kindness. Giving back to the community. Think of one way that your students can give back to the community or give back to your campus. Teach by modeling our gratitude for others. It can be as simple as making a marble bookmark. Build a sense of community. Have a booth at the school festival or elementary school festival and let your artists showcase face painting or sell items. Give your group time to be socially active on your campus. Art can be very independent, so providing connections for kids that have like minds is essential. Relationship skills. Work in groups. Have group projects, group games. Having jobs in the classroom. Have a project for the year. Builds pride and group dynamics. A sense of community too. In your class, if your class is online, have fun times together. Zoom, themes, and games. Examples could be treasure hunts. Make the theme Crazy Hat Day and wear it to the next Zoom meeting. Get creative. Has Zoom meetings that are just for fun, not always academic. Kids want to feel needed and to have a purpose. Give the students jobs in class. I am still in the process of thinking of online jobs. That's a work in progress. Responsible decision making. Write norms as a class. Due dates on your rubrics. Predictable learning environment. Have predictability. Be at the door. Some of the most loved teachers on our campus are the ones that show the most interest in the kiddos, greeting them with energy. Have your lessons set up so students know what the expectations are. Build in routines at the very beginning of school. Build the learning environment. If you're doing Zoom and distance learning, have your Google Class ready and show the student how to venture through the Google Class setup. Set up a Google slide with reminders. Have tutorials. Allow choice in the lesson and themes. If the project is optical illusions or the elements of principles of art, give a couple of choices. Allow kids to have some freedom to choose. If they are tasked to make decisions now, when tough choices in life come along, they will be more familiar with what choice looks like. And most of all, when the work comes in, comment on every single kiddo's work. Even if you have to copy and paste the same message sometimes, it's okay. We know how many students you have and the time it takes, which could be unmanageable. You need to take care of yourself too. In the end, we want what is best for kids while taking care of ourselves. In the end, all students need a balance of academic and social emotional learning. Students learn and apply SEL skills when they are explicitly and intentionally integrated into daily lessons. A positive school culture and climate is the foundation for all social and emotional learning. All stakeholders are responsible for contributing to the ongoing development of SEL skills. The big question for you today is, do you really want to know where SEL takes place? Right in your classroom. You, the art teacher, are the one that is most valued as a social emotional teacher on a campus. You allow students to express their emotions, to express their feelings, to find themselves, to use a visual language that fosters feelings. Seek out your peers. Take time for yourself. Ask for help. There are a ton of resources online. During the professional development this year, we hope to provide you with examples of things that I shared in this video. In the end, we want to take care of ourselves. We want to look like this Bitmoji, relaxed and enjoying art. Once we, as educators, are relaxed, our kiddos will be making art, learning from our modeling, and looking like these gals. I celebrate you. Best of luck. Please reach out to me at mvolts@neisd.net if you have any questions. Take care.